So our agenda today is the first one is to just a couple of updates from the last week follow-up. The first one is the CDM in terms of like testing the dispensary and also the health center form. Lawrence, do you mind just to summarize that what we talk about?
I was just saying that earlier we've run into a slight delay. We cannot depend on the Empath test server to do the testing, so we've fallen behind schedule to give feedback today. I'm trying to set up my local instance and then allow the team to be able to test tomorrow. So I'm in the process of pushing Gold to my laptop, and then from there I have the form uploaded and then downloaded to the device. I'm hoping I can update the ticket tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Lawrence. The next one is Simon and Wayne to investigate what changes actually happened on the mUzima test server side that caused the recent app crash due to the comparing the concept node thing that we talked about last Friday. Just wonder if you guys got a chance to look into it.
I'm still in the process of establishing the reasons. So for now, I don't have an answer yet.
Hey Simon, can you talk a little bit closer to the mic?
Yeah, what I'm saying, I don't know whether you can hear me. Can you hear now?
Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah, what I'm saying, I'm in the process of looking into that. Right now, I don't have an answer yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next one is thank you. The next one is the discussion on provider. So from last Friday, when we go through a couple of tickets regarding like provider for as an encounter provider, as Sweden mentioned that it required the system ID in order to be able to parse correctly. So when I look into the provider table in the encounter domain, it does come with the UUID for the provider. That is required. For the system ID field, it is optional. Even the provider name is optional. So now the question back to the team is that should we consider to change the requirement of how we capture the provider? So we change the structure that now we should grab the provider UUID instead of the system ID, or the because the system ID now become like an optional field. So like in the past, the system ID is required. After the 1.9 upgrade, it no longer is required in the provider table. The only thing is required would be the provider UUID on the provider table. So we really want you guys to think about what should we consider of changing the way we handle the provider.
Yes.
I think it would be like a bigger discussions, like if we agree, if we think that we should change, what kind of impact of what extra, how much extra effort that it needs to be fixed. I think we probably this might need to come from you.
I don't know how much work it's going to be, but I don't think we have other option either. I mean, if the system ID is not available because it's optional now, then we won't be able to process the encounter. I think we give the system ID and the name of the provider because it's more user-friendly to display that information instead of allowing them to pick the UUID. If the provider table only require UUID now, then it's going to be really hard because if you want to display UUID as selection, then how do the user will be able to tell?
How about that we keep the current display that of name and system ID? The only change behind the scene is that provider UUID is required doing the coding on the form as well as doing the additional provider download process. Would that be something that's feasible to implement?
Yeah, I think we can do that. We can add the, ideally, if we can, I think we should put the provider UUID as the hidden field in the form. So when you pick a provider by the name or system ID, if it's available, then internally the form will select the provider UUID and send this information to the server.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. You know, like the name and the system ID is more human readable. Is easier to spot. The provider UID should be handled behind the scene. Yeah. So Wayne, I might bug you later on just to how to spec out for additional ticket for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, CDSS team. Simon, do you think?
Hi.
Hi, Simon. Do you have other comments and feedback on this one?
Just to say I agree because I think that makes a lot of sense. Because if the UUID is required, then we are sure we shall have some identification. And on the forms, we shall display both the system ID and the name so that in cases where users have similar names, they can differentiate between the two by looking at the system IDs when they are available. So I think what Wayne is saying makes a lot of sense, and I agree with it.
Great. So just want to capture what we talk about CDSS team, because currently in 1.9 they have a provider table. In the provider table, the system ID, even the provider name is they are optional. They're not really required fields. So when for the current form structures, those two fields are required because when we create those based on the 1.8 structure. When looking into the provider table in 1.9, the only required field would be the provider UUID. So we're suggesting that we should add that provider UUID as a hidden field in the forms, but still display the current how current things display, the provider name and the provider system ID if they're available. That's pretty much what we talk about. Okay. Any question or comment?
Okay, just listened.
Okay. So the next one is the if there's no comments further, the next one is the sprint discussions for current sprint. So I would like just to share the screen so that we can go through the tickets together if there's any outstanding ones. So we already went through the tickets on the pre-testing. The two CDM forms going to be tested hopefully the next couple of days. And for 305, let me just make sure that 305. Shrita already shared the update the snapshot APK, and I already looked through it. There's only a couple minor changes. I think that's pretty much it, and it looks really good. On those tickets, like they now put on hold, I just want to highlight that Manisha already made changes on the teleconsultation form. So they are ready to be tested, and if you go to the mUzima test server, she actually updated, created 2 form templates, Manisha CDM, CHEW form, and also the teleconsultation form that we should use for testing on those tickets like 271, 272, 268, and 294. So I'm going to move all these 4 tickets ready to be pre-testing. Is there any questions in terms of the testing on this ticket? Because like I think the remaining one is really the teleconsultation form.
Edda, I don't know which particular form are you going to use? The one tagged Edda or Manisha?
Manisha.
Okay, sure, thanks.
Yeah, she just updated it a few hours ago.
Okay.
This one, yeah. Okay. Do you see that one now on the screen? Yep, right here.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm going to move those forms back to the pre-testing phase. So please help to test on those.
Okay, thanks.
And any questions on the 2 tickets in progress?
Nothing much, I would say.
Okay. So there's a few tickets for Wing to do code review. Achana, do you want to talk about how things going for the fingerprint project, maybe?
Sorry, pardon?
Achana?
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
So do you want me to say how much things are done?
Yeah, maybe just share the progress and also the web plan for the remaining one.
Okay, yeah, so far I'm able to add a fingerprint to the existing patient and then register a patient with a fingerprint, and also able to search the patient with name or identifier on the same page, I mean on the front page where you will search by fingerprint. And yeah, I think it is done till this point. Now, as with my previous discussion with Judy, she asked me to work on the APK and to try to reduce the size of the APK. So I think today I'll start with that.
Okay, so for those tickets on the code review panel, I think it would be helpful for Eric to do some testing as well. Is it possible for you to use Eric?
Okay.
So
but
Eric,
I think my work is still under code review. So
yeah.
do you want me to still ping Eric?
Yes, I think it would be helpful. Maybe you spend an hour with Eric, especially on the Windows script.
Okay.
Yeah. So that he can move forward.
Okay, sure. I will let Eric know about that. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Eric, is there any questions you have in terms of the fingerprint?
We can't get too clear.
Eric, can you repeat?
I'm saying we can't get you very clearly.
There's an echo from her side. Eda, there's an echo from your side.
Okay, so can you hear better now?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So Achana already shared her progress in terms of the fingerprint ticket, and I think it would be helpful for Eric to work with Achana together, especially on the 285 to test on the Windows script.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, once you have that one set up, and then you can test on the other ticket as well.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I'll link.
So yeah, can you ping Achana after the call so that she can spend some time with you, make sure that you set up correctly and all those things.
Yeah, sure, I will.
Okay, I think this is very exciting, Achana, that there's a lot of progress, and then it can be set up and tested in the Windows environment.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. There's still a bunch of tickets on the haven't started yet, and I'm not going to go through those. But in case anyone have any questions, please just post a comment, and then we can clarify through the ticket.
Okay.
Now, any more comments or questions in terms of for the current sprint? Sounds like a no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we go to the next agenda item, implementation update. Derek or Lark?
What is happening right now? I'm hooking the devices to production, and maybe I would let the group know that I'm using the APK dated February. Seems most of the APK that are current are not really responding to Huawei Ascend Y210, and the only APK I've tested and can be able to stabilize and work probably and ensure the videos is only the February APK. So if that is okay with the whole team, then I will still continue to do the same, because most probably on Wednesday and Thursday we might go out in the field and be able to roll out Sugoi.
So Derek, are you saying that they are ready to start the implementation again?
Yeah.
And have you tested intensively to make sure that the APK that you're talking about work compatible with the current with the form templates?
Yeah. What's happening is we've not updated any forms that are in production. They're just the previous forms that are still in production, and it works well with the February APK.
But I thought that there are some issues with the form templates. The one that Simon helped you to fix.
Yeah, that is the form, the current form template, but it has not been loaded to production yet. In production, we still have the previous forms.
Yeah, so if you use the previous form that which has problems, it will continue to create problems for you and end up in the error queue.
Sorry?
So the current form templates that you guys are using in the production,
yeah,
didn't you guys identify some issues, especially for the
costing questionnaire?
For some of the answers about like don't know or decline or things like that?
That was for the costing questionnaire, but in production we have the two behavioral assessment tools. That's the lack linkage and retention form.
So the BA tools have no problem?
The only problem I have are the current ones on Dropbox. Yeah, those forms are not. They don't have anything to show that we have media files that are supposed to be displayed. That is, I think, after Vikas or so who did some updates.
Okay. So can you just make sure you test with the current form templates with the APK that you suggested? Make sure that it's not just like entering, but also make sure that when they go through the server, what's actually happened, and did they actually create the right record or encounters, and then the ops displays correctly and all those things. Can you make sure those before you guys implement?
Okay, I hear you. I would also like to let the team know that we have tickets LAC 21, 23, 24, and 25, of which maybe we are supposed to be looking at as days goes by. Those are the issues on the current form that is existing on Dropbox. Not on Dropbox, sorry, on GitHub.
Yeah. Do you mind talk about the LAC 21 then?
Yeah. LAC 21.
Like what exactly this ticket is looking for? What kind of outcome this ticket looking for?
What happened when last time I tested the form, that was on Friday, the form wasn't saving, and I did lucky enough Savai was here with me and we did test again. He's supposed to be working on the same, of which I know he's aware of.
This one is for the costing form, correct?
It's for the costing form, and because the form
mentioned, Derek, the issues I identified, I updated them against LAC 23.
Yeah.
So I saw you've done some tests, and I think you encountered the issue of not saving. So the reason for not saving, I think it's been fixed on another ticket that we discussed last Friday. Because what I did, I just took the latest form on GitHub, then fixed the issues and pushed it back. So the issues of saving that were also seen with all the other forms, I think it's the same thing.
Okay. Maybe I'll be in a position to go to the form and try to give back. Thanks.
Okay, you say LAC 21 and then LAC 23 are the action items that actually Simon have to fix. And then which LAC ticket you're talking about? There's another one, you mentioned 3 tickets.
LAC 24 and LAC 25. LAC 24?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's on behavior assessment tools. That's the link form and
Oh, this one.
forms.
Okay. Yeah, this one is something to do with the recent APK, but this is pointing to the production.
Sure. Yes. Hello? Ada?
I'm sorry. Please make sure you look at LAC 25 and 26.
Sure.
The description that I put in there. Make sure that it captures everything so that it doesn't need to do piecemeal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Okay.
I think what was happening, I don't know whether you say the issue was the APK. I think the issue was on the forms. If Savai, maybe you could, as we check the forms, what do you think was wrong with the
I'm sorry, just say that again.
Sorry?
I'm asking, what did you just say?
Lastly, when we checked the forms on GitHub, the form on GitHub did not have issue messages.
Are you asking about the form media? The linked and ten form?
I'm not sure for other people. I could not hear both Derek and Simon very clear. It's kind of like keep breaking off.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe you try.
It seems like the connection today is very poor. How about let's just have a short call today, and please comment on through email or ticket. Is that okay?
That's okay.
Okay, now you're clear.
Yeah, now I can hear Derek.
Yeah.
What I just said, I couldn't hear Derek, but I think I will comment on the ticket and we can communicate over the ticket, like they say.
Okay. Cool. So another yeah. So for the luck, just go through the you guys can commit through the tickets. Thanks. Is there any other updates from luck program, Derek?
Nothing much. Guys are just working on process evaluation. It is taking most of the time. Things are working well. I checked the VM, and so far no one has pushed in forms. We only have around forms on the error queue, 5 forms on the error queue that I'll be solving. I think that's all. Yeah, nothing much.
Thanks, Derek.
Thanks.
So next one, implementation update from Lawrence on CDM.
We so far we're doing well. Just there was a concern by as far as implementing the screening forms that we realized like one screening we are supposed to do like 100 persons screen for diabetes and hypertension, and it's almost impossible to capture all that data on the device. So Dr. Kamano had suggested that we either set up a VM server to capture all that data, or
Lawrence, do you mind just to repeat what you said earlier, because it was breaking up again? I'm sorry.
So I'm saying, it came out after we piloted the screening form last time with Dr. Kamano. It came out that it's almost impossible to capture all the data, the screening data, on a screen event by the end of the day. So she raised that query with Martin as to how we can be able to capture that. And I think the decision was we will only push data for positively screened persons into AMRS. I don't know if that's clear. So we won't be capturing all the screening data apart from that for the positively screened patients who have been referred for care.
Hey, Lawrence, do you mind just to share that through email, because I think I could only hear some what you mentioned is like from testing on the screening form, there is some suggestion from Dr. Kamano about screening those positive ones, and after that I could not really hear.
Okay, I'll do it on email then.
Okay, great. Yes. Is there any other update?
No.
Okay. How about from CDSS team? In terms of mUzima implementation?
Still testing the tickets and responding on the.
Though Eda again, I think we really have issues with the latest APKs because right now they are not working, and I don't know what we can really do so far because they are not working.
I think Win actually put the latest one, another new one that I tested it. It works. So have you tried again?
Yes, I tried this morning, but still we are getting the same error.
Oh, okay, it's a different. Okay, yeah. Win, do you mind to share that?
It works well.
Okay. So
yeah,
Win?
we only send out that one to you and Big Boss.
Okay. Okay. So maybe Win, you help us to have another new folder, maybe?
I'll build it on the dev folder.
Okay. Cool. So like yeah, we were testing another APK that it is working fine. So Win is going to share that with us.
Okay.
Is there other updates or questions or comments?
I don't think so. Maybe if you have anything for us, Ella.
I guess, what did you say?
I don't think we have anything else on this side.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Just hoping that we will try our best to make sure that turnaround time for the testing of some of the tickets should take a bit shorter time, so that we come at par as far as testing the issues are concerned.
Great. Okay, yeah, we can end early then if there's no more comments or questions from anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, cool. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.